wanted to open up our topic this week: 4 different things or motivators that can drive successful businesses, organizations, and people beyond the money, beyond the power, and beyond the prestige. Because in fact, those things are a byproduct of their commitment to whatever they have created their organization or built their life around to make meaning. And generally, the driver of meaning falls in one of these 4 categories: righting a terrible wrong. It falls into improving the quality of life. It falls into making the world a better place. And it falls into preventing the end of something good. Yesterday, we talked about what happens when you are designing your life, designing your business, designing your community, or designing your meaning around an environment that is diametrically opposite to what you are pursuing. What do you do? What do you talk about when you are trying to right a terrible wrong and the community around you is trying to prevent the end of something good, which is in fact creating your terrible wrong? What do you do when you are trying to create the start of something good and they are trying to perpetuate a terrible wrong, which is preventing the end of what they call good, which is something horrific for you? And when you don't do that, when you don't watch that, then things begin to move you in a direction you are not trying to go. We saw very clearly what free people do, what healthy people do when the World Trade Center was decimated, when it was bombed and exploded upon with the airlines. George Bush got at the top of that heap and said, what? You are either with us or you are against us. You are either for us or you are not for us. He made a proclamation. He made a claim. He drew his line in the sand. Why? Because that's what free people do. When you are not free, you don't draw a line in the sand. When you are not free, you try to explain away your enemies' horrific behavior. When you are not free, you try to put the blame on yourself for the victimization you feel. It's equivalent to an abused person, an abused spouse in a relationship, blaming themselves for the beatdown for their spouse. We do that. Why? Because deep, deep, deep down inside, we don't see ourselves as free. Deep, deep, deep down inside, we really feel that being abused, and periodically our sons shot, and periodically our daughters being in cars in Washington, D.C., bullet ridden by cops with a baby. In our deep minds, we actually feel that is better than being hung and shot in slavery. So we'll take a periodic abuse. We're just happy to not be beat down in the way that we did in slavery. That's an abused victim's mentality, and therefore they see their state as better, so they ignore the abuse because they say, wow, at least we're not in slavery and catching it like that. That is the victim of abuse, of domestic violence, of a person who can't recognize the reality of their pain. And that is what we have to address, talk about, adjust to, look at in the face and say, what are we going to do to look like, feel like, and become free people, where we draw our line in the sand and accept no atrocities perpetrated by us, to anyone, by anyone, on us. Over to you, Kevin. I'd like you to thank you for calling in to today's morning inspirational message. It is our desire that you look at, that you reflect on where we are and how we're going to organize all of our talent so that it produces a unity and a strength that is deeper than the stagnation and the deprivation that we often experience, we often go through, and we often internalize. We'd like you to call a friend, call a family member, begin to discuss what you have heard today. Begin to raise those questions to yourselves. Can I handle the truth of my life? Can I handle the potency and the power that is inside of me that is locked away because I don't recognize the total reality of my development? The beauty of this medium is that you can call in, you can reflect on it, you can evaluate what you've heard, evaluate what you've listened to. You can begin to assess it relative to your feelings, your spirit, and your energy. Take a moment to log into our YouTube channel and leave your comments, leave your concerns, discuss what you have heard, discuss what you feel. Begin to open up and create dialogue with those around you to begin to see what is going on inside and how you create a new course, a new reality, and a new commitment to change. We look forward to bringing you this message of optimism, this message of healing, this message of really being able to open up the sore and clean it out so that we can then restitch it, repair it, and go forward strong, healthy, and whole. This message of positive expectation. Why? Because sometimes you got to go into the darkness of your own mind, the darkness of your own thoughts, and the darkness of your own fears, insecurities, and state of mind to create the optimism, positive expectation, and move forward without the leaks, without the problems, without the idiosyncratic dilemmas that cause you to feel emotionally and spiritually impotent. Growth and prosperity can take place once we've recognized them, adjusted them, and committed to dealing with them. Have a great and fantastic day. And go out and make your life free. Make it happy. Make it fulfilled. And touch the lives of those. And don't let fear hold you back. Don't let fear cause you to not look at your state of being. Lift those up around you. Touch them. Clean them off. Help them to become strong. Show them the way. And receive and deliver dialogue for your refinement as well as theirs. This is your friend and brother Tambuzi, saying, have a great and fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.